Okay. Did you not bring the bag?
What bag? Oh,
I
didn't.
That would have been...
Hey, guys.
Hello.
We are back at it again with another podcast episode. This is the third rendition of the Good Vibes Only podcast. I am your host, Trish, a.k.a. Eyece, and across the table from me,
And I'm Feyer. And we are Feyer and Eyece.
that is us.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
It does.
Has a ring to it.
I liked it.
And then behind the cameras, we have our boys, Daniel and Jans. Jans is actually on the microphone. Say a little something to the audience, Jans.
Hey guys.
That is not a good
He was like straight up basically
depiction.
twerking before this.
Yeah,
Now he's like
of
whispering.
Jans. We have a
Camera
ship
shy.
name for them. They are Janiel.
Janiel, if you're wondering.
Best camera crew you can get
Dan's
around
the
here.
mans and J Money.
If you are actually looking for podcast services, you can hit up our friend Daniel. He has all the things you need over on his socials. Are you Daniel Ortiz on everything?
Yep, he is Daniel Ortiz.
The
yeah.
Daniel Ortiz on all the socials. I'm Ice Siren on all the socials. Fire Phoenix.
Yeah, on one of them. Yeah.
And then what J Cloud Images or something like that? Isn't it something right? Isn't that right? Something?
He's just sitting there.
You have a microphone.
He's coughing. Let him cough.
Oh, he's partaking into
J Cloud 64 _
Oh, okay.
or J Cloud Images.
See, I knew something
Okay.
was right there. I'm looking at
Okay.
Daniel for confirmation. He's just like, just wait.
He's in a different
Daniel
place.
on his own zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, just
He'd
leave
rather
me
oversee.
high and dry, whatever.
Daniel's in La La Land. Right
But anyways, this is our third rendition.
rendition.
Very
Yeah.
excited. We're definitely getting quite a good amount of traction. Like, I'm happy to see how many people are reaching out and
Yeah.
saying that, like, they really enjoy the content we're making, and having people reaching out to want to be guests. So if you would want to be a guest, you can email us at fireandice@gmail.com.
Smooth.
I'll put it in the description.
Because it's spelled funny. so
Yeah,
she'll-
it is spelled funny.
It's spelled funny.
But we want to start having guests on. We want to interview people about their, life stories and, like, how they deal with mental health, how they deal with, self-help, things like
How
that.
they've overcome struggles in their life.
But
Inspiration.
for now, we're still sharing with you guys our story because we have a lot of stories. So today's episode is going to be about self-esteem and dating. We thought that would be a fun topic to cover.
Oh, fun is the word we're using.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We thought it would be a topic to talk about.
yeah, we thought it
Yeah.
would be interesting, and I'm glad that we have the audience mic over here
The audience, like,
because it'll be nice to get the guy's perspective on some of the things that we talk about today.
now. I am the guys.
He is the
he is
guys.
the guys.
So,
Confirmed.
the first episode was about coping mechanisms. Our second episode was about self-love. So I figured a nice transition out of that is self-esteem and how it correlates into dating and how it really, like, can affect the way you date, who you date.
It's everything about the way you date, how you feel about yourself. It's what
really
you
is.
accept
Yes.
and what you don't.
Very, very true.
Boundaries. That'll be
Because
fun.
the
to
thing
talk
with self-esteem is it's just like the excuse they say for parenting. Like, you're not given a manual. Like, parents,
They
unless
say,
they're-
"Oh, there's no book." There are so many books on parenting.
there are a bit.
Get
but
a book.
as
There's
far
books
as
on it.
growing up, it's not like your parents, unless your parents are really woke, they're not teaching you about self-esteem.
The woke squad.
About self-love. They're not teaching you about, like, mental health and things like that. That's all things that you really learn because it's not like society teaches you it either. The way media is set up, it's very self-destructive.
I don't know if it's like across like everyone, but I feel like a lot of us just learn about it in school.
Yeah, just from, like, the social structure of school and, like, it's funny.
Sociology is all like public schooling is about.
And
pretty
it's
much.
funny how, like, different people grow up. Like, I love comparing
man.
the way we are with things because we grew up in the same household, but we
Yeah.
handle things so differently.
Opposite.
So, like, as far as dating, I I've been dating since I knew what dating was.
That's
like,
so
it sounds
crazy to me.
horrible, but I really was. Like, I had my mom even like shared the story today, like how I got like 3 gifts from a boy at my 5th birthday party.
At your 5th birthday.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it was
You were
like
a
this guy
risologist from
that I
birth.
kind of dated on and off all through elementary school.
I have never heard someone say dated on and off when they're talking about
I
elementary
probably
school.
dated him like a total of like 3 years.
That was a serious
In
ass
elementary
relationship.
school.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Oh, so many things.
He went down the slide with another girl.
No, I dated him and his brother.
Not at the same time.
Trish, you dated him and his brother?
Not at the same time.
Not at the
Oh,
same
okay.
time.
But yes, I wanted to date their older brother though, and that one never happened.
2 out of 3.
Yo, but it's still Trish.
That's
Damn.
a 70%. That's a
Double kill?
77%.
Wow, that is weird to think
Yeah.
about. And then like my elementary
Dude,
school.
what if they saw this? People from our hometown.
There's no
see
way
this.
he's watching this.
Bro, it's possible, and that would be funny.
But
what do you know?
Funny to bring up, Zach, one of our friends that passed away last year.
R.I.P.
I dated him in 5th grade.
That's
And we had this day where we got to go. It was like the kindergartners went to 1st grade, the 1st graders went to 2nd grade, the 2nd graders
you
went to
were
3rd
like,
grade.
I'm about to
5th
raise up.
graders 5th graders got
You
to
saw
go
an
back
opportunity.
to kindergarten. So
Oh.
we got to go to our class. Everyone that was in that class of that year got to go to the class that they had in kindergarten and like reconnect with people. And it was a really interesting day because I was dating Zach and the guy that I had dated like all through elementary
I
school.
can't believe you're talking about a freaking
was in
fifth
the
grader,
same
dude.
elementary. He was in the same class.
I can't.
And the guy I was dating at the
Happened in
time.
5th grade?
Yes, this
Fifth
was in 5th
grade.
grade.
Damn,
And the guy I was dating at the time was getting jealous because I was paired in a group with my ex, and my ex was like
Your
mad.
ex, you were 10.
He was mad flirting with me, and the guy I was dating at the time
What, did
was
he give
getting
you an
jealous.
animal cracker?
When you were 10?
I mean, yeah. Like I said, I started dating at a very young age. Like I kind of found a lot of my self-worth through the people
that's
I
where
was
you went
dating.
wrong.
It's exactly
Oh,
where I
yeah.
went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be too like vocal about some trauma in my past, but I had a neighbor that was kind of a horrible person and did some
Creep.
really fucked up
Super
shit to
creepy.
me growing up, and it kind of made me think that my worth to men or boys was something that it wasn't. So I just was
I
kind of
think a
set
lot
up.
of like society is kind of steered that way though. Like a lot of like beauty standards, or I mean, women are very often sexualized. I mean, I remember one of our first like Twitch streams, my shoulders were just showing, and people were being really weird about that. So now I'm like hyper.
They literally nicknamed you
aware.
shoulders.
It was so weird.
everywhere.
It was so weird. Like
But it's funny because I look at all my friends and like all my friends that in school, like grade school, that weren't dating
are married and
are
have
now
kids
married and have kids, and I'm like, yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, thank you. It's just funny how like it took me a little bit longer to learn like my self-worth and like have better self-esteem. Like it honestly took me going through some pretty messed up stuff and like
Trauma is usually the way we learn.
yep, contemplating like what I deserve, what I put out, what I give to other people versus what I'm getting is not even close. So it's like, you know what? The last serious relationship I was in, I was like, this isn't what I see for my future. So I ended things, and ever since then I just haven't really found
A reason to date.
yeah.
Like, are you being patient about it?
I mean, I'm on dating sites. Like I actually am contemplating getting off of those dating sites.
Every time you're on them, that's what you're doing.
Because I mean, every now and then, for every like handful of creeps that I meet one person that I have a genuine conversation with, but it never really leads anywhere. I either get ghosted, or like it just something happens to where we never meet in person, like, and then it leaves me sitting here thinking like, did I say something wrong? Did I like just like scare them off with my weird personality? Like, and it makes me be like, do I even want to?
I really do, like, honestly, of all the things I worry about self-esteem wise, being too weird for someone is genuinely not even close to what I'm worried about. If I'm too weird for you, like, you couldn't hang anyway. Like,
Agreed.
like
And
I
it-
like
and-
being weird with
and see,
people. That's how you learn
that's
the
a
personality.
big difference between us two, is that from a young age, like, you didn't give a shit about boys. You didn't give a shit about dating. You were like, I'm good on my own. I'm going to be hanging out in this wheelbarrow in the back of the
I'm
backyard.
be reading Santa books in August.
And it's just interesting how different it was.
I played video games. I didn't date. I played video games and hung out with my friggin' dog.
And, like, all my friends from childhood that weren't dating, just like you, are now literally married with children.
Is that a flex for me or something to be sad about? Are you calling me out
it's
now?
just an interesting dynamic.
She's like, and it's really interesting. They're married and you're alone.
No,
That's so
you're
weird.
also 5.5 years younger than
Yeah.
my friends,
Yeah.
so...
I can't. I'm
Yeah.
a baby. I don't have money.
I can pay you in
Look at my pockets. I can pay you in blocks.
Me and Mom looked up that skit the other day.
It's too funny.
so
It's the big jacket.
So that was your relationship. Then what about yours?
Who?
What was the last time you did?
My last relationship ended very, very badly.
What was the longest?
My longest relationship was 2 years, I believe. My first one was a year. My second one was 2, and my third one was 8 months. So.
I think my longest was 4
And
years.
it's interesting because the 8 months one hurt the worst. For
Really?
sure. For
Not
sure.
the 2 years?
For sure. No. I broke things off with that, and honestly, it was the smartest thing I've ever done.
Did you ever finish in good terms, or was it bad?
For the 2-year one, we ended on somewhat good. He was very hurt, but he wasn't a jerk about it.
Wait,
Like
so
we
you
just.
initiated it? You did. You
Yeah,
started it?
I ended it, but it was really hard because it wasn't malicious. Like it wasn't like a. It was just a we're not right. Starting to talk about engagement, and it scared the out of me. Like there was no part of me that was sitting there thinking about it or dreaming. Like I've never been like that, so I didn't really see it as a problem. But I saw it as a problem when he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about like what would you think about like engagement?" And I'm like. Oh, Jesus Christ, being stuck with you for the rest of my life. And I was like, oh my God, I would not want to be I would not want to be on the receiving end of my partner feeling that way. So I had to leave him.
Did you talk to him about it?
I tried. He didn't take it seriously. He didn't want to take the time to really talk about it. So I was like, fuck this, I'm done.
Did he try to like avoid the talk?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I think he knew it was coming, but
He shouldn't want to accept it. Yeah.
I wanted to see him in person to do it because it was a really long relationship and I feel like that's
Yeah,
respectful.
because 2 years is 2 years. You know?
And he refused to see me in person. And I was like,
Hey,
what are
man,
we even doing?
Things have to happen. Yeah.
What are we even doing then? And I felt horrible about that, like breaking up with someone over the phone, them crying.
Oh, you did over
and
the phone. Oh my god.
I didn't want to. I did every.
She
It was
tried
like
to
The
get
fact that
him.
you had
it was
to do
2
that,
weeks.
It's just, like,
It
really
was
taking a
2
lot.
weeks. He would not see me. I was like, dude, like even if it's right after work, like I just need. And I was still kind of holding on, like maybe a conversation could fix it.
Oh,
Maybe
so
there's an
he should
issue.
stop talking to you?
But no, he didn't ghost or anything. It's just he refused to see me in person, and this was a person that I saw all the time.
So for 2 years dating.
Yeah.
Like what? Did he start at the second year?
He knew something was up.
He knew, yeah.
she-
He could
she
tell I was
wasn't
backing
happy.
away.
And
And I honestly, like, I hate to put it out there like that, but I could tell it was affecting his self-esteem. And
Yeah. It can.
that made me start feeling really bad. Because I genuinely cared about him. Like, even though I didn't really love him like that anymore, like, to think that I was hurting his self-esteem really made me feel like shit.
It can.
So I left
breaking
him.
up can hurt both teams or cannot hurt both teams.
Yeah.
Depends.
Because, I mean, it sucked. Obviously, we're both hurt. But
yeah.
I'm a lot happier now that I'm not with someone trying to make it work when it doesn't.
And I mean, as far as like engagement and as far as that conversation
See,
goes,
and I felt with the 8-month relationship I was in, I felt being excited about the future with someone. So now I know that was the problem. You know,
the one relationship where I really thought I was gonna marry someone, it was only a year. We were only together for a year.
that's so crazy.
But I also got arrested from that person.
And isn't it crazy? In the 8-month one I was in, the law got involved too.
Yep. Like it's passion. It's when it's dangerous, when it's too much.
When you're not right for each other.
And
When you bring out the worst in toxic. Definitely.
and sometimes toxic is really fun when it starts, but when it ends, it's
the fun isn't the problem.
yeah.
The fun is not the problem.
Yeah.
It's everything else.
And it's funny bring up engagements because I just talked
Oh,
about
is it
this at work.
What you think? Oh, yeah,
I got
forgot.
proposed to in a Publix parking lot.
Isn't that so romantic?
And you denied it?
I worked at the Publix with my mom,
No, she didn't.
You said yes?
and I
Oh, did you say yes because you didn't want to?
no, I wanted to be with him.
Okay.
I was
hear this
still
part.
in high school. I was a senior. I was 18. We actually this tattoo we have matching. And
You got a tattoo with him?
it was not on my end. I did not want it to be matching.
Oh, you wanted to talk about red flags. One red flag is when you go to get a tattoo and the guy
you're
you've been
with,
seeing is
yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna get the same one. Let's get each other's initials.
Yeah, let's get our
That's
initials in
crazy.
it. Yeah,
I'd be
he
like,
said
how about
that.
I'm just getting a Skyrim tattoo now? So if you get it, we just both like Skyrim.
So
Ain't about you.
It was my first tattoo, and I was getting it for myself. To be completely
It's an infinity sign.
honest,
That's a lot of people's
I
first
suffered
tattoo.
from self-harm, and I wanted to cover some scars, so I got an infinity sign and a heart tribal that, you know, represent like life goes on and love yourself. And this was the first one I got, and then he wanted to try and make it like, oh, we're gonna be together forever kind of thing.
They weren't.
And we would no, we weren't. And we would always sign because he didn't go to my high school. He got literally kicked out of every single high school in my area, and every time we signed our letters, we would sign it with an infinity sign and then our initials in the circles. So he's like, we should get that tattoo.
Isn't it funny how
I'm
like
like,
in the
no.
moment a lot of times it's like, oh, that's so sweet, and then you look back at it now and you're like, oh, I was so cringe and that was really toxic.
It was manipulative
It was
and like
cute.
possessive.
Isn't that cute?
But yeah, so right after we got the tattoos, we went to Publix and showed Mom, and she was mortified. But anyways,
I
yeah,
would've
I
shit
worked a
myself,
shift
so.
at Publix. I got out to my truck.
That's a day you work.
Yes, I was in my Publix gear. I get out to my truck,
Romance.
and he's sitting in the back of my truck in like a black long sleeve shirt
And that
a
red tie.
a red tie, the Batman hat I got him,
Oh my god, that fucking.
and he jumps out of the back, and he has his guitar, and he gets down on his knee, and he starts playing the song he wrote for me.
I'm sorry, but even if you're great at guitar, if we are anywhere in public and you pull out a guitar and start singing to me, I'm gonna be so fucking
And he would
uncomfortable.
he would.
It's like, I love you, bitch. I never
Yep.
stop loving you.
And he would pretend to propose to me like wherever we went.
I hate that.
I hated
I
it
hate
because I have
that.
social anxiety, so that like
Oh,
freaks me
yeah.
out. I don't like people looking at me like it's weird because I do.
And when they
stuff
do it
where
in public,
cameras
it's
are
kind of
argument with him?
manipulative.
Oh, so many.
So many.
We got arrested together.
God
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, and our dad was a cop at the time.
That was-
I
Dude,
got
our
sent
lives
to
are
his
crazy.
jail. I got sent
crazy.
to
Our
my
lives are
dad's
crazy.
jail. It was the worst experience
embarrassing,
of
yeah.
my life.
That's completely.
It was
And
so
what makes it
embarrassing.
worse is he was a total dick to the cops. And if anyone knows anything about like dealing with cops, like don't be a dick. It's
Yeah,
really
don't
that
be a dick,
simple.
yeah.
Like they're an authority figure whether you like it or not. So like don't be dumb. Be sorry
And
that you committed a
The
crime.
worst part is that the cop that arrested us said he would have let us go if he wasn't being an asshole. So here's a lesson for all
So,
of you
our
kids.
father
If you're
would've never known.
underage, or if you're just of age,
Don't be telling
Don't
kids
be
how to
stupid.
steal.
don't be stupid. Don't steal. But if you do steal and you get caught, admit to it immediately and
might go off
cooperate,
easy.
because you might get off with a warning instead of being arrested because your boyfriend is an idiot and is trying to run from the cops, and you personally know the cop because your dad works at the jail that cop works at.
He grabs the woman like, let's go.
No, he literally
Run!
looked at me and he's
Said
like,
run.
"We should run
Run.
for it. We should run." And I'm like,
Run.
"You're
Dun, dun,
stupid."
dun, dun.
I'm bawling my eyes out. No,
Oh, you were crying to him.
I was because we got caught.
Damn.
I was
And he was trying to
literally
run.
It was my senior year of high school, and I was shopping for accessories for my homecoming with my best friend. And my boyfriend at the time was there with me. We were at Claire's, and it was the promotion for Alice in Wonderland and Pirates of the Caribbean. And he was like alternative, so he was like, "Oh, that shit's awesome." So he just stole a bunch of shit, put some of it in my purse. I didn't
Nothing
say
is more
anything.
alternative than
I
stealing
let it
from
happen. I
Claire's.
should have said something. I should have been like, "No, that's not okay." But I just froze. I didn't know what to do. I just let it happen. So
Yeah,
there
you
was
were-
fault of my own, but
you were dealing
also
with the moment.
hanging out with the wrong crowd. And we tried to walk out of the store, and they stopped us, and they pulled us in the back, and then they had a cop come, and the cop I knew. And he's like, "Yeah, you guys are underage, and you have cigarettes and knives on you, so that's not a good look."
Yeah, Trish, you were like that.
I
like
was
that?
a-
You don't care.
Yeah.
What? I bet nobody messes with you.
No.
Our dad was a cop.
And we're half Puerto Rican.
She'll come out with that knife.
Our dad was a
That's
cop.
what
Yeah.
half Puerto Rican, half
We're
Irish.
at any event and people come up to me for the knife. Like,
It's true. She is the
Sheree,
knife girl
last
of the
time we were
group.
there, Sharitha's like, "Hey, you got your knife?" And I'm like, She told me they were checking.
I didn't know.
I don't got it.
I don't know what events we're
I
going
left
to.
it in the car. I would have brought it.
That guy
I
didn't
don't got
seem
my knife,
happy,
but I
so-
got my shank.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so
Just
yeah,
pull out
I
a
got
sharpened
proposed to
toothbrush.
in a Publix parking lot, and I said yes. And then Mom asked me about it, and it was really awkward. And then we ended up not getting married.
Thank God.
I went to FGCU, and
Instead, she went to college.
yeah, and ended up.
That's a good.
Having
it's
even
about
more
to be a
drama
bad
happen.
message. But it was a good message
But
for a
yeah,
moment
no.
there.
So, good moral of the story: we went to my high school reunion. Like
oh my God!
10
And I
years after,
photobombed the picture.
after I graduated. She
pretended
photobombed.
I-
People thought she graduated with
I
us.
told people. People would be like, "Oh, did we
Yeah.
go to? Yeah, you don't. I'm Trisha's sister. You don't." And I was right, like, in
The funniest thing about it is the ex that I just told you guys about was there at the bar.
And we hit it off, bro. He
And
was
we
so
saw him
cool.
like in the corner of our eye, and we're like, "Oh,
He was
glow
a
stick
bro.
guy," because he had like glow sticks around his neck. and I
Oh,
was
not
like,
him. No, not that ex. I thought you were talking about Zach.
No, he wasn't at.
Oh, it wasn't the
didn't go to the
reunion. It was the
reunion.
wedding
Yeah.
that we partied with Zach.
No, well, both their names are Zach.
Ew. But one's fun and one sucks. So.
Yeah, but yeah, so he was there, and we saw him, and we're like, "Oh, glow stick guy, that's cool." And then like maybe a
He
half
said,
an hour
"Oh,
later,
it's
he
you." I
comes
said,
up and,
"Oh
like,
shit."
taps our shoulder, and I'm like,
Why did he talk to me?
Well, you were looking that way. I wasn't. So he like
It was
just
gross.
saw, and he's like, "Hey."
He's like, "Hey, it's you," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Once I said it
He's
right.
like, "Ain't that more dandy than a dandelion?" or
No,
some
I said,
fucking
"Oh, how are you?" He said, "Dandier than a
like-
dandelion." I was like, "That's fantastic."
That's something he would say.
Have
But
a
yeah,
great
it felt
night.
really good to be able to see him 10 years after we dated and be able to not feel anything. That was something I never thought would happen.
Cheers.
Self-esteem.
I already drank it,
Oh, okay.
but cheers to you for that.
Overcoming.
Yeah, because that was the hardest relationship I ever had to overcome.
Yeah,
And I've dealt with some shit, and that was hard.
haven't we all?
Like
baby?
going to the jail your dad works at.
I'm sorry, but I remember being a kid during that and being like, "Dude, she's in so much
She's dead.
fucking trouble."
Dad's killing
I'm like,
her.
"Bro, I ain't never gonna go to school again. Like, I can do anything. It ain't gonna be that bad."
And you were right.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so love is
You'd think out of the two of us, I would have been the one getting in trouble,
no,
and it was the exact opposite.
no, yeah, because the way we grew up. But
Just
maybe
the
that's
way
why
our
I was like
personalities
that
and
when I
shit.
finally had like the freedom to do so. Because I was
Trish,
a
you
very
were a
goody
problematic
two shoes, but then once I got
teenager.
into like
You were
high
a
school, yeah, I
problematic
was
teenager.
sneaking out and getting busted. And
I snuck out once, and I was like, "This fucking sucks. I don't
Yeah.
like this."
but love, man, love's crazy.
And the way that ties into self-esteem is I would have left way sooner in most of the relationships I was in if I had better self-esteem.
Preach, mama, preach.
I wouldn't have dealt with things.
I wouldn't
I've
have put
dealt
up
with.
with as much bullshit. Like you really don't realize like what you're worth until you finally give yourself time to do so. 'Cause that's like I had the issue of being in really long-term serious relationships for way too long. I realized way earlier on that it was not something that I should have stayed in. And then by the time that I wised up and like left, it was just too late, and it was just such a long drawn out relationship. And I would jump. I would be like single for a month, not really give myself the full time to heal.
Honestly, with the last thing that I've been through, like being the most traumatic thing I've dealt with in a relationship, like it's just taught me that if you survive, then you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Like if you got out ever, then you did the right thing.
Yeah. Because
Like you can't, as someone who's being victimized for any reason, blame yourself.
Yep.
That's how people end up like trigger warning, like killing yourself. That's 100% how you get into that mindset.
Yep. And I mean, I've definitely had some relationships where I look back and it's like the woman I am now is like heartbroken for the girl that I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just so sad to look back and realize that I felt the way I did about myself, and realize like that I thought I deserved that treatment, and that like
Because now you look back at it and it's like almost something you're ashamed of, but in a way that's like
and you
that shows
start-
growth
you
in
start-
an odd
I
way.
feel like everybody needs that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all go through it because, you know, that builds us to be great.
Oh, I know. I'm way more emotionally open now.
And you look back at it and it's like, why did I wait so long to love myself?
Okay, then here's a question. Did you guys fall in love with any of these boyfriends?
Oh yeah. The one that I got arrested with, I was.
You were like in love.
I was in love with him before I even saw him. If that sounds crazy, but like
West Side Story, bitch.
Okay, so how many times have you guys fallen in love with? I mean, how many times have you guys fell in love?
that was probably the only time that I was truly.
I've loved people before,
madly
but I
in
think
love.
the last relationship was the only I was genuinely
Was yours,
in
like,
love
the
with
one,
someone.
3 months?
It was 8 months was
8
the
months?
last one. Yeah. I was genuinely, I actually pictured like a future, and I've never done that with someone before. I think that's just like a self-defense like of mine, is I don't like to think about the future because then I can't be hurt when it like doesn't happen.
I feel that.
Yep.
But I definitely was picturing that with him, so when it fell apart it hurt a lot more.
Like I have people that I've dated that I genuinely loved and really cared about, and at the time thought I was in love with.
Yeah.
Like I had a guy that I dated
I know who you're talking
through
about before
middle
you're even
and
starting.
high
Yeah.
school that my family loved. I still talk to his family.
Him and I played Guitar Hero for like 2
we
nights
went on
straight.
vacation. Yeah. But
We were playing on
he-
like Expert and shit
That
together.
sounds fun.
We were
His-
homies.
His mom is
but that's
like
the only time I hung out with
I
him.
still keep in touch with his sisters. I keep in touch with
His
mom.
mother is an angel.
Oh,
I
you
love
have
her
the
so
type of
much.
relationship? That's nice.
with,
She
with
is an
them, yeah.
angel, his
I don't
mother.
even remember the last time I
Yeah.
talked to him, but his
The fact that you still
family.
cool
His
with
family is
Like
the shit.
we'll go home and visit our hometown, and like if we have time, we make sure to see his mom.
Yeah.
Like
That's
she was just in my life at a very pivotal time. Like I was figuring out like my mental health. Like I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Like a lot of things were
You?
like yeah.
What? I don't
yeah.
ever see your bipolar.
I've learned to control it. I've learned to control
And
it.
to be
Awesome.
fair, we have not hung out a lot.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
It is
but
a lot more controlled now, for sure.
She,
Well, you hiding it well.
You have to
because
learn yourself.
Thank you.
I never
I
thought
appreciate
about that.
that.
I never seen that.
That mom was like one of the first people I saw when I got out of the hospital, and she just really made an impact. And those kind of people you stick around with in your life.
I'm not gonna lie, I want to draw
For
a
the
dick
people
on
that
his
can't
face so
hear,
bad.
Daniel's passing out in his chair. And we're watching.
You're gonna
it,
wake
and it's
up with
kinda
a
funny.
dick
My
on
God,
your
like-
face. Draw a dick
And
right on
he
his
woke
cheek.
up as we were saying that. So, yeah, I thought that maybe I was in love with him. I was with him for a long time.
Yeah.
And like our families loved each other. He would have proposed to me right out of high school.
Oh, 100%.
Like-
If not, while you were still in high school.
Yeah.
And the families would have been fine with it, and that's like really
And
scary.
it terrified me because I was like,
I've been there.
I barely even know what my sexuality is, let alone like, and I've only really dated guys. Like, I want to date more girls. Like, at that time, that's what I was thinking. So I ended things. And then we broke up and we got back together like a year later, and we're together for like a year. And then it got really serious. And I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school. And I was just like, I can't do
Too
this.
serious, too quick.
And then like some really traumatic shit happened. I switched schools. I was just going through a lot, and just developed really unhealthy dating habits
Yeah.
of like jumping from relationship to relationship, trying to find my worth in my partners, and it just wasn't healthy. And then after I wasn't technically in a relationship. The last person that I like was romantic with, it just was a fucking dumpster fire of a relationship.
DJ Khaled?
Yeah. It was very passionate, but it just,
Burned out quick.
yeah, not even that. Like, it just wasn't what I thought it was. Like, I was a lot more genuine than he was. And at the end, I was putting in way more effort than I was getting out. And I was just done. Like, I need someone who's gonna be there for me like I'm gonna be there for them. And it's
Dude,
just
that's
that simple.
that's a huge point of self-esteem too. Like, it took me a long time to look at a situation like, it's hard for me to feel validated and being upset because I am so used to being gaslit in relationships. Like, I'm so used to being minimized, to being told like you're a nag, to have an issue with this, when I can admit, and sometimes I can be a little heated the way I go into things, and maybe that's, something I need to work on. But that doesn't mean that what I'm saying doesn't matter or have merit. Like, I'm not going into it in a rude way. Like, I've definitely worked on it, If I have an issue with something, I want to talk about it. That's just how I am. Like, I'm completely open to, hey, I don't want to talk about it yet, or, I'm not comfortable with this right now. Like, I just need communication. Like, I'm tired of being made to feel bad for communication, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't do that to a partner. Like, period. If a partner came to me about being upset about anything, even if I disagreed, I would at least hear them out.
Yep.
If they're upset, and even if you feel like it doesn't matter, it matters if they're upset.
And, like, another thing that goes into it, too, is, like, you settle so easily for something that isn't right for you when you don't believe that you deserve better. And once you start seeing the kind of fish that are in the sea, and, like, once you start seeing that those fish are also interested in you, you're like, oh, okay, I can have a little bit more of a standard for myself, and, like, I can set the bar
You can
higher.
have whatever standard you want.
Yeah, like...
You don't have to date anyone if you don't want.
And especially with the way dating is nowadays, like, dating is horrendous. It's horrible. I hate it. It's the worst. Our audience mic man is back.
Daniel is not having it.
But damn, I completely
train of thought.
Yeah, completely.
It was
lost
too
my
much of
train
an
thought.
entrance.
But we do have a question for this week. We've had a question for the last 2 episodes. We like to kind of use the question to guide our conversation. And it's also a way for you guys to kind of, like, interact with us and, like, comment in our comment section your answers.
Engagement. We were talking about engagement. This is a different kind of engagement. An engagement you can be a part of.
Yeah, engage with us.
Oh, let's get engaged. I like that. I don't. Oh, commitment.
But our question this week is, what are your green flags and your red flags when it comes to dating? And
right.
I figured that, you know, it would be interesting to get, like, the female perspective, and then obviously our audience mic man.
The man perspective.
His
man's
perspective on it.
perspective.
I'd like to hear Daniel's too if he's up to it. I don't know if he's... yeah,
Dan's the man's.
He seems like he's in his own
He's in a
groove
different
over there.
lands. That's okay, bud.
But as far as green flags versus red flags, for
Just say one of
me,
each, yeah.
I would say the biggest green flag I look for is, like, brutal honesty. Like I would rather you hurt my feelings and tell me exactly what the situation is than try and sugarcoat it and my obsessive ass find out one way or another and then be pissed off that you didn't tell me the truth. Like, I'd rather you just tell me how it is. Like, spell it out for me. I don't have time to waste.
Honesty
like,
is the best policy.
that's why the people, like, on social media that immediately send you a dick pic, I hate it, but, like, I respect the fact that now I can just move on and know what you're looking after. Like, that's what you're after. I don't want that.
That's just such a shame
Yeah.
that you have to, like, delude yourself into, because it's so normal now.
Yeah.
I'll be at work and I'll open it up and be like, oh, ew.
Yep.
All right,
The
cool.
But
circle.
yeah,
That's
I would
disgusting.
say that's my
cool.
biggest green flag is just honesty. Like, you can see a lot of someone's character by how honest they are about shit.
But when you're first getting to know someone, how the fuck do you know if they're
Yeah, I don't know how
That's
people
true.
just send dick pics. Like,
it's
I
disgusting.
don't know
I
either.
feel like that's like way 2000, like maybe 15.
No,
No.
it still happens
No.
every
Yeah,
fucking
that shit still
day.
happens.
Every day.
They call people like us weird for not
I
liking
feel like if you
it.
send a dick pic, that shit can go straight to OnlyFans.
It won't. No one wants to see
Can you
dicks.
imagine how much money we could make if we just saved
Yeah,
all of the
honestly,
dick
you guys should
pics
just
we
make
got
the
sent?
See them.
All you
That's
gotta
why
do-
they're sending them to everyone, guys.
That's
No
true.
one wants to
Make an
see
only,
them.
That's a
make
good
an
point.
OnlyFans page and just send post every dick.
Girls
pic.
aren't sitting here looking for dick pics online.
We could
okay?
literally,
No,
we could
people are
start.
crazy.
I
we
have
could
never had a
start-
girlfriend be like, "Oh my god, girl." Look
We
at
could
his dick
start
my man
an
just sent me." I never had
OnlyFans
that happen.
and
Try.
call it. We could call it Tinder dicks,
Tinder
hate
dick.
and it's
it.
Oh
just
my God,
all
that's
of the
lit.
dicks that people
I
send
can,
us.
I can almost 100% like guarantee that there's a Discord for that already. I can
Okay.
almost
If there's a
guarantee.
Discord,
But we
You
can
should
make
try.
money off
You
of
can make
it.
OnlyFans.
I don't
money.
want to be looking at dicks. No,
That's fair.
I don't want to look
But
at
we,
them.
it doesn't
I
matter
don't
if we
need
want
it.
to or not. They're gonna send it anyway, so we might as well profit.
Dirty
off of
money, dirty, and then they can see that we screenshot it and be like,
frozen and
"Oh,
burn.
it. That's a good one.
yuck,
You would never know if fire
yucky
nice.
ducky, dude,
Yeah, it's gross. Guys suck.
yuck."
Not all of them. I mean, we got some
Y'all are
cool guys
cool.
here. I guess.
I'm not cool.
Y'all are cool.
I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad boy.
You couldn't hear that either.
I had to use it though. But
Bad guy.
Bad to the bone.
but yeah.
What's your red flag?
My red flag. Do you have something to
I
say?
think
Touch
it's
the
something
mic
to
if you
add.
wanna Grab the mic.
Do you have something to
I'm trying to
say?
get you to say that one more time.
What?
Did you say something?
You're a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy.
I fucking love that, dude. That's hilarious. You're good. I love. You just hear bone.
But yeah,
ever growing bones.
My
Ever-growing
biggest
bones.
my biggest red flag.
It doesn't even have to be biggest, just one of them, because there's many.
The smallest.
I mean,
The littlest one.
probably
He pick his
cockiness.
nose.
I hate cockiness. It
Really?
rubs me the wrong way. Like if you can't be humble, like
That's so funny you say that.
oh my god, it drives me crazy.
That's funny.
It's just like
It's funny because a lot of people are really into that. That's
It's one of
really
my
funny.
biggest turnoffs.
Really?
Like you could be like everything on paper, but if I meet you in person and you just like act like you own the room, there's a way to act like you command the room, and then there's like you think you own the room. Like there's a difference.
Okay.
Like,
I'm listening.
I like
Okay.
I like
I'm listening.
confidence
They're
that's
reasonable.
genuine.
There's a line between confidence and being conceited. For
Yes.
sure. For
Like,
sure.
No
You-
one should be cocky.
Yeah.
And you can usually tell the difference between someone who is secure within
I like when we can
themselves.
joke about being
feel like-
cocky. I like that when we can joke about
Yeah.
being
I feel like
extremely
you shouldn't
confident.
be cocky with the person that you planning on like kind of be seeing every day.
Yeah.
There's no point since you guys be seeing every day.
Yeah,
Why-
it's like a
why-
peacock, like
yeah,
showing their
honestly,
feathers and being like, "Aren't they pretty?"
It makes
Like,
me
Are
feel
you
like
really gonna be doing that the whole time?
yes,
with
you're.
her?
It's like
That's
you're setting up
energy draining.
It's a facade.
yeah, you're
It's
setting
draining.
up
It's
this
a facade,
mask
Whether they
of
mean to
yourself.
do it or not, that's a facade.
And
Being
it's
someone
like-
else is draining.
They lying. They stopped trying after a month.
Wouldn't you just want to be with someone who likes you for you?
Yeah,
honestly,
you'd think.
that's what we all
You
looking
would
for.
think.
You'd think.
But it's not like
You'd
that. It's not.
Because it's hard, man.
And that's
it wouldn't be
why-
love if it's not hard.
Yeah, and that's why, like, honestly, on social media, like, my biggest thing is either I get catfished or I get ghosted.
You get catfished?
Yes.
Well, tell me your stories of your catfish,
Oh,
please.
some Asian girls are not really Asian
you get
girls.
too?
Yeah,
You
it's
don't look
mostly girls.
Are you straight or you bi?
I'm pan,
You pan?
so I'm
You don't know
into
what
I'm
you
into
look-
pans.
She's Peter Pan.
Okay, wait. Explain to me what's pan.
I'm into men, women, and everything in between.
Hearts,
so
not
trans,
parts.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So you should like.
I don't care what you have going on in your pants. I
You-
care
you-
about what's going on like in here and in here. So like if I have a genuine connection with someone, it doesn't matter if you
She
have
said if
a
there's
dick
good
or not.
vibes-
Like it really doesn't
So
matter.
the moment you feel a vibe, you like, I want you.
That's simple. That's very simple.
That's
Yeah,
but very
the
complex.
simplest way to
attraction-
say it, kind of like that.
attraction
She's attracted
is
to people's personalities.
Okay, but I'm a simple person. So if you told me that it's like you like, if you enjoy.
She would date someone
enjoy the
non-binary. She
aura,
would
you
date
enjoy
someone
the
who is
key you get
trans.
from
She would
it.
date someone who, depending on what kind of person
I've
you
literally
are. Yeah.
talked to I've
You feel
talked to
positive vibe from
men.
a
I've
person
talked
you-
to
I
women.
feel like someone having like a really good energy, a really gentle spirit, regardless of whatever they're
Okay.
working with, makes
I've
them
talked to
attractive.
trans
promise,
men.
like,
I've
I'm
talked
not
to
trying to
trans
feel-
women. Like I've literally been like attracted to everyone on the spectrum.
Okay, then like, I promise this is not to come out.
No,
like,
I would rather you
disrespectful.
ask. This is a safe space.
But like, I'm trying to like learn my knowledge from this.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to know before I talk.
What's
Yeah.
up?
So what's the difference between bi and pan?
Bisexual is binary, so
So-
male, female.
Male, female.
Pansexual
It's
isn't.
just
It
male or
includes
female.
non-binary people, trans people, like.
So like,
Okay, so that's what pan is. So
Bisexual, you like men and women.
pan is male.
Pansexual, you
female,
like
Pan
men,
is
women, and
everything.
people who identify as anything else.
Oh,
it's
okay.
literally everything, and it doesn't mean that
What you
you're
said, Daniel?
like
Daniel, please tell me what
He
you
made
said,
Daniel
bro.
embarrassed.
Don't be shy.
Leave Daniel alone. He's sleepy.
Lucio.
Let him drink water. He needs some water.
Wayne Brady just came out as pansexual.
Who?
Wayne
Wayne Brady.
Who's that?
Yeah. Wayne Brady from
educate
Whose
me.
Line?
Trish, please educate me.
The dude from Whose Line? Is it
Whose Line?
anyway?
Whose Line?
Whose Line is it anyway?
No,
Wayne
don't call me.
Brady? You don't know who Wayne Brady is?
I'm bad with names. I'm sorry, guys.
That
Daniel,
blows
do you
my
know who Wayne
mind.
Brady
What
is?
other did he
Can you show him who
Was he
Wayne
moving
Brady
in?
is,
Someone
please?
You gotta
Please
show him
educate
Wayne
me.
Brady.
He's like the host of Prices Right now.
Glasses right now?
Price is Right.
The price is right.
Comma now.
Why did I high five you?
Oh, he's the guy who just died?
No, he's pansexual. He just came out as pan. No.
If Wayne Brady
He's
died,
alive.
I am going to fucking cry.
I don't know who he is.
He
I'm
was
sorry.
on Whose Line Is It Anyway? He's the host of like Price is
He's
Right or
funny. He's
something.
beautiful.
He was on Dave Chappelle.
He's
like
very
the
funny.
I didn't
Chappelle
watch
show
that.
a
Very
lot.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I need to be educated.
But it's just nice to see like people feeling comfortable enough to come out with that because one of the first things I hear when I tell someone I'm pansexual is, oh, so you'll just fuck anyone. Like, oh, you're just horny. You just want to fuck. Like, yeah, and also, oh, you're down for threesomes. You're down for
no.
like.
I mean,
They hear
you
anything.
can or you cannot. I mean,
They hear
both.
anything
Just
where
because
you're
I'm
interested
pan
in women
doesn't
and they
mean
say
that I'm into like poly or like.
Yeah, that is an assumption.
I am-
Just because I'm
Sure.
straight doesn't mean I want to fuck every woman I see.
Yeah.
I'm 100% monogamous. Like, I am not into threesomes. I am not into polyamory. I don't judge people that are. Do your thing. I almost had a threesome once. It did not work out.
Oh my
I
God.
was not into it. I was
Wow,
not
you are
into
being
it.
honest.
I wasn't into it. I almost killed the bitch. Like, I just
Who
wasn't
drank
having
the
it.
Four Local here? Like,
Right? She's getting your energy, dude.
I just it's
Four
not
Loko
my
in the
thing.
air.
Like, been there, tried it, didn't like it.
Fair.
I'm good. Like,
Fair.
okay, then
And
what?
when
Continue,
no,
sorry.
go. I'm
what's
curious
your
what your
question?
question
Now I'm
was.
curious.
Yeah.
No, you continue.
No, please,
No.
please.
Tripping me is kind of like moving on to your red and green flags.
Yeah, go for it. I
Oh.
said mine.
No, but you kind of.
I'm on a tangent of my sexuality. We don't need to keep going there.
We'll never. We don't
I
have
am
enough
pan
time.
and
We
I'm
don't have enough
monogamous,
time.
and that's it.
I want to know
don't have time.
Daniel's.
I want a
green and red
bae for
flag.
life. Then hopefully it's a woman, or
Okay.
but that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so Alice, I don't know your
Shit.
name, last name, but
Good.
Alice.
It's
What
on
do green
social
and red
media.
red
Green
flag? Please,
flag.
can
Okay.
tell us.
Wait. No. Let's start with bad, and we'll go to good.
I started with good.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do the fucking opposite.
You are
Yin
fine.
yang.
Okay. So bad. What's a really bad red flag? Love bombing.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
really do not like when I first start talking to someone. A few compliments are nice. You know, it feels nice.
That's a
but
really good one.
when they are constant with the like, girl, you so fine, like, oh my God, you're beautiful. Like, has anyone ever told you you're beautiful? Like, let me write you. Like, let me paint you.
You meet them
And
and
it's
they
like-
tell you that they love you.
Or you tell them, hey, this is moving too quickly, and the next day they tell you they love you. Yeah, that's a huge red flag because you're trying to make me stay by telling me how much you like me, but you're not worried that maybe I don't like you. Hello, I have my own feelings. I have my own thoughts.
And a relationship is a two-way street. So
Are you? Do you communicate with your man?
Oh, for sure. That's why.
she's too good at
That's why we
communicating.
fight. A lot of times, like, I feel like not getting angry has upset a lot of the people I've been with when we fight.
You're just very logical when you're in,
And it pisses 'em off.
in that
Some people
space.
just look
Pisses
for
them
like,
off.
oh, why is this not person that angry when they think that
and
you
they
should
want
be
you to
angry.
react like they
You
are, so
just-
that you have something to feel bad for too.
You're good with your words, so it can be frustrating for someone who isn't.
I can see that.
And then I'll
Like,
just
in the
sit there and
moment,
be
at
like,
least.
then tell me that and take some time.
Well, that's why we've
I'll
been
go
able to
play
work on our
fucking
I
shit.
Red
tried.
Redemption,
I tried
and
telling
you-
you that, and
you know?
you blow me off.
Ooh.
What? What?
We're getting into some tea on
The
the
messages
on
you
the
be messaging
podcast.
me, you go straight at me.
What are you
I
talking
feel like a victim.
Damn.
A victim of what?
Nah, I'm
Say
sorry.
it with your
There's
chest.
some- there's-
Say it with your chest. No, what you
Can I
victim
get some
of?
popcorn?
I'm listening. Let's communicate.
This is gold.
You know, habla
Keep going.
inglés.
Keep going.
You know, habla
Yeah.
inglés.
Oh, all of a sudden he doesn't know English once it got real.
Yeah, emigrante.
Yeah.
Papeles.
Yeah. Okay, so green flag. Moving swiftly on. Oh man, that's hard.
What do you like about men?
Yeah,
What's
what's
so hard?
something that attracts
like about
I
muscle?
really like
Yeah.
gentle
Gentle?
like spirits.
Spirits.
Like someone
What,
who
someone caring?
someone who's really like first of all, humor is usually what gets me attracted to someone. Like that's usually what makes me actually like someone. But what makes me like stay interested in someone is compassion. Like if I see you be like really good with people or just like
giving
hey,
money
do
to
you
the
need-
homeless without recording it.
Yeah, like do something really like selfless. That's gonna be really attractive.
Yep.
Like that's just
Helping a family of ducks across a road.
I'd be in love. Ducks are my favorite fucking animal.
Yeah.
Give
I know you.
Bring me a duck.
I know you.
Bring me a
This
duck.
nigga and I got bit.
What?
I wanted to help.
What about you though, Jans? What are your green
What's
and
your
red
green
flags?
and red flags since you're calling everybody out?
I don't know. Green flag. I'm gonna go with green one first. And the green one is like the hardest because like I fell in love once, got my heart broken, and it was like really rough for me. It only fell one. It fell in love one time in my life, and I kind of like not. I haven't really searched for another relationship for that reason. Like I'm healed from it. It's just I'm at the moment now that I'm like I'd rather be patient about it. You know, the right woman will come to me when she finds that she likes everything about me. That's my green flag.
Yeah.
A woman that likes me for who I am. You know,
It is
or a
a
guy
change.
who, you know,
See that, and that's
likes
also that kind of
YouTube.
goes with love
Genuine.
bombing. If they
Genuinity.
love bomb you so quick, it's like this can't be about me. You're lonely. This isn't about me and our connection. This is because you want a person, and I'm just here.
Yeah.
If a woman comes to me and she's like, hey, I like, you know, you, and I like the stuff your ideas and what you want to do for your job, and I want to help you. That would put me such in an empowerment where I want to help you and your dreams. Like, let's help each other. Like, you know, kick up.
Yeah.
Partnership.
Yeah,
That's what it should be.
That's why this
That's
is
what it
green
should
flag.
be.
And then the red flag. The red flag. I don't know. Like,
The red flag is the good tea. That's the tea.
I'm really with the woman I'm in love or like. I'm really mellow. So it doesn't really take much for me to get pissed with her. I'll let a lot of
Oh,
things
you have
slide.
a temper?
No, like when I'm in a relationship with a woman, I let a lot of things slide. Like a lot of things don't bother me because I'm like, in the end of the day, like I like you and I don't want to ruin anything with you. So you know, I'll let a lot of shit pass. But red flag. I don't know. I feel like a red flag would be her having a problem with me and not telling me anything about it. I'm like, should tell me, right? I mean, like, tell me.
Oh,
like,
I hate that. I'm
Like
fine.
she talks to
Are
all
we
her
supposed-
girlfriends
I'm fine.
about it.
not because like
It's like, bitch, you are
And
not
then
fine.
at the end of the day, you're a team. And then they really are a team.
It's when they
You
start
help
feeling
each other
like you're
in work.
against them.
Hey, you need a right to work. I got you. You know, you're doing what you say. You know, we may not be living together, but you know, I'm there for you. You're there for me. We figure shit out together. You know,
Be able to
that
count on
trust.
each other.
Yeah.
The trust has got to be there.
Open
you can't be in a relationship without
communication.
trust. Communication. Communication.
Communication
really
is key. Yeah, it really is. Like
Aw,
it
you guys
is.
are saying the
Jinx,
same
double jinx.
stuff.
Oh.
Yo, me a soda.
Okay, so I can still talk then.
Yep, you got to be silent for the rest of the
Well,
podcast.
yeah, that's my red flag.
That's a good one though. I
Yeah.
mean, communication is really important in a relationship.
It
You don't
bothers the
realize how
shit
much
out of
it
me
is.
when you are like, "Hey, are you all right?" Like, was it? No, I'm
Communication
fine.
is
And
key,
you can
but-
tell they are not, and you're like, "Oh my god."
Yep, because then you're gonna sit there and fester on it.
or they're making other people that is my oh my god, I
Yep.
hate that when I can feel in a room when like the person
Everyone
I'm
else
with
is having a
making
good
everyone
time,
else uncomfortable.
but,
I hate
yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I had that happen at a concert. I went to
Me too.
Warped Tour, and I was seeing Sum 41, and it wasn't Warped Tour. It was Buzz Bake Sale. Got to see Sum 41. They were literally doing backflips
God,
off
they
of
were
the
so good.
speakers. They were so good, and the guy I was with at the time was just sitting on his ass, like not getting up and having a good time with everybody. Like he was just
Was he an introvert?
no, like he definitely had like that, but he was just upset about some
He was
bullshit.
just having a bad day.
And
I did that.
yeah.
I went the Chance the Rapper. I brought an ex to. He really liked Chance the Rapper, so for his birthday, I got us tickets to go see Chance the Rapper.
That's
And
awesome.
I remember there was a part where he was like everybody, like let's get fun, let's party, and I was like, ah! Even though I didn't know any of the songs, I was just like, hey, this is exciting. Like I love concerts, and like the people around us were, really, and my boyfriend was just sitting there like he hated that I was getting along with the people around us. He hated it.
is she should have just
Okay.
brought me.
Do you guys have a
Literally.
problem? Do you
Literally.
have a problem with boyfriends that are jealous? Like really jealous?
I think everybody.
No, not really
does.
jealous.
It's
How about, like,
possessive.
regular
There's
jealous?
a line between
Yes.
possessive and like.
I think
jealous.
having a certain, I'm not saying having jealousy in your relationship is healthy, but it depends also on the dynamic that you have
And
in your
for me
relationship.
specifically, I have a male best friend, so I deal with that a lot in relationships. But at that point, I'm like, if you have a problem with something, tell
Yeah.
me. We can talk about it.
I
You can
grew
meet
up
him. You can hang out with him.
having
We can all hang out.
a lot
like,
of guy friends, and a lot of the guys
Are
I
you
dated
willing to
had an issue
you're
with it.
willing to compromise for that?
I'm never gonna tell my friend he's out of my life. He's been here before them. He'll be here after them.
No, the fact that you're willing to compromise, like, hey,
In the
I will
past.
hang out with my friend when you hang out with me.
I wouldn't not hang out with him alone anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
I would like make sure he knows where I am or knows what we're doing, or like I would find a way to work on that. But I'm not gonna drop my friends for someone.
That's communication.
Because
though.
he's my brother. Like, he isn't just a friend. Like, when we lost our house and everything, he was there helping us.
You see,
Like,
I
that's
wasn't
my
in a-
family.
I wasn't in a similar situation
Yeah.
like that where my
I genuinely
girlfriend had
love
a
this dude.
friend, a guy friend, and like, in my mind, like, she really never really told me that she had a guy friend or anything like that. And you know, in my head, like, you know, she kind of not her fault because she didn't really need to tell me who she's friends with.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like, it puts me in a situation where like she could be cheating. She
You
could
also
not.
have to like know yourself well enough to know that you can say like, hey, you know, it's making
I'm
me feel a certain
uncomfortable.
way. I'm not telling you what you can do. I'm not telling you what
I just
you can
don't
do
know
with
your
No,
friend
but yeah,
well
I
enough.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
But like when you willing to compromise, a lot
Oh,
of
I
women.
had a boyfriend straight up tell me like, I don't want you hanging out with a dude this much. I don't think it's right. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, look, dude, I get where you're coming from. If you were hanging out with a chick all the time, I would feel a certain way. I could be real about that. I'm offering for
That's
you
awesome,
to meet
yeah.
him. I'm offering for you to hang out with him. You are unwilling to do it, and he treats you like a brother. You are the fucking problem. I'm not gonna punish my best friend in the whole world because you want to be insecure about yourself. I come home to you at night. I sleep next to you at night. If I wanted to sleep next to him, I would have never even fucking met you.
He's literally like a gay best friend.
I love this dude. We do face masks and play
When
Nerf
we
guns
camp,
together.
yeah.
Like, there's no romance there.
I mean,
It can
yeah.
be intimidating to someone that's a romantic partner. I can understand that.
Yes.
But if the romantic partner isn't willing to try and meet said friend, understand the relationship, because that relationship was established before you became that romantic partner.
And honestly, like this dude and I, the way we became such good friends is we were going through some fuck shit at the same time, and we became really good friends from that. Like
He showed his
I
true
know
colors.
his family, he knows my family.
He's got your back, and he's had our
he-
backs.
After he found out what happened with my ex, he wanted to kill him. He wanted to genuinely kill him, and that's a homie.
Yeah.
That's a homie. The one you have to stop from driving to his house to kill him. That's a homie.
And not even exact. Like this
No,
guy
he
is a
would've.
Marine.
He
like,
would have. He
is
has
a-
the
he's
tools
a
to
vet.
do it. He has the tools to do it.
He
for
has
sure.
guns.
He has the tools.
He's
He
shown
was
us his
serious.
guns.
I know him. He was serious, dude.
But yeah, I think that like when the jealousy is to that degree, when like the partner you're with isn't okay with you having the friendships and the relationships you've built beforehand, that's on them. Like if they're not willing to actually meet your friends and like
'Cause I was willing
try
to
and
talk about
form a connection, because you had those connections before they ever showed up.
And that's
Okay.
one
And
of
if-
the. And I
if
say that
they
before
can't
I even
accept
meet someone in
you-
person. I'm like, yo,
Okay,
like here's
but-
If
my
they
problem.
can't
This
accept
is
you
my
and
best
your
friend.
friends,
what
then-
if?
I mean, you're meeting this person with these connections already in place. So you're gonna come in and disturb this person's peace. For why?
But what if? Hear me out. Hear me out. What if the best friend kind of like made a threat to the boyfriend, saying that I'm really trying to get this girl, but
That's creepy and
Okay,
wrong.
yeah,
then
then that's fucked up. And
but
that's
because
not
she
a, that's not
because
a
he's your
true
best friend,
That's not
you
a friend.
believe
That's
him.
that's not
That's
a
not a
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but
Because
That's
the
on
reason,
her.
My
the reason I'm
question is,
still
how do you
best friends with
justify
this
that?
dude is it's never gone that way. We have been respectful of we are just friends. That is as far as it's going since the moment we
100%.
became best friends. So if you had a friend that you were like really close with and they were like, if
Yeah,
I'm
but you
being
see,
honest, I
this-
was just waiting. Like
but-
that's not a friend.
there's like you see, I had a ex that she had a really close friend, and he
wanted her.
wanted her.
Yeah,
He
that's
came to
on
me
But
her.
she
like
didn't
he
believe
came
her.
to me like
Yeah.
I'm gonna take her away from you.
That's on her.
And she
he would never
believed
believe
him
you,
and
yeah.
not you.
100%. Yeah.
Well, then that's on her. Like that's
Ooh,
How can you
that
justify
hurts.
that? Because
that
you know,
isn't
It's
justified.
not
in a woman
justified.
perspective,
Yeah,
tell
that
me how
isn't
can you
justified.
how can
I mean,
a guy come in and
was
really
he
tell
in
But the
her
thing
life
is,
before you?
the issue is she wasn't setting boundaries. She was the problem in that situation. Yeah, he was causing conflict, but he was in her life and she was letting him cause conflict. You were her man. He was her friend. She let those two things mesh. If my best friend told me, "Hey, I just got to be real with you. I'm in love with you. Like I've been waiting." I'd be heartbroken. I'd be completely fucking heartbroken because I'd be like, everything was a lie. You were never actually my friend. You were waiting for your chance. Like for me, they'd be cut off completely because that's a boundary that
You
you just
bold.
over. That's a boundary.
Shit's bold.
That's wrong. It's wrong. You don't need to keep people in your life that fuck up your energy. Like if you're gonna make the people, especially the person you're with, if they make them uncomfortable, like you don't need that in your life.
That's why I've been single. For
Time
so
doesn't
long.
mean
Like,
shit. Time
I'm
doesn't mean
good.
shit.
I'm good.
I mean, it does because the time goes
doesn't.
by, you get old, and we
Dude,
die.
two-year relationship, easy to get over. 8 months was like the hardest shit I've
Honestly,
ever been
yeah,
through.
because
Time
look,
doesn't mean shit.
The one woman I fell in love with was a
Doesn't mean
year,
shit. See?
and then the girl that I spent 3 years with couldn't care less.
Yep.
Ain't
It
that
just
crazy how
depends
that
on-
happens?
It depends on the connection.
You get comfortable. Get comfy.
Yep. You let a lot of stuff.
'Cause
a lot of
dating is
stuff
hell.
slide that you
And
And
shouldn't.
when you're in a
Hell.
situation where you're like, oh, I don't got to date anymore, it's hard to leave that.
Because it's so hard to go through social media, or even if you actually genuinely meet someone in person, like
I
to
can't, I'm too
actually.
shy.
It does happen. It does happen. And
like my
the
phone.
way social media is nowadays, you can match with someone on social media and then they meet you in person.
No, that happens every
and
fucking
they're
time.
like, "Oh, hey, I matched with you on social media," and I'm like, "Oh, hi." That's awkward.
I'm not. I got no risk.
If you literally
If a
just
guy
write me
says,
saying,
"Hey, how
"Hey,
are
how
you?"
are
I'm
you?"
in Tinder,
Yeah, I'd
you
be
see,
like,
that's what I
"Oh, okay, a
do, but
normal
no one,
person."
Nobody likes that. And then when
You're
they tell me-
matching with the wrong people then.
Well, no, I be matching with the people who has common things, I guess. And then they're like,
What are these common things, Jans?
no, I mean
He's like, they got big asses.
No,
and they wear a
and
lot
they
of makeup.
titties
It'll
out.
be like tags, like
And they're on
movies.
a pole,
We
but
like
they don't
movies,
like me.
we both like movies.
And they're
or we both
dancers.
like-
They're entertainers.
They have me
No, like we
go
both
on
like-
their Snapchat premium,
No,
but
it's
then
ju-
they don't write me back.
It's just like tags like we both like
Stoners?
movies. We both are stoners.
That is two of the most broad shit I've
no,
ever heard in my life. Do you
of
read the
course,
bio?
An example.
Do you read the bio?
Bible.
the bio.
I
On
know you
Tinder.
ain't reading the
Oh,
Bible.
yeah,
Do
the
you
Bi-
read
bro,
their bio?
I know you
Honestly,
ain't
on
reading the
Tinder, the
Bible.
bio is the most funniest thing.
Dude.
When they put the maximum effort, I'm like,
Give me a moment.
Are you
have a
reading?
few.
Oh wait. Okay, this is the segment where we read some
I
shit.
could
We've
read you my bio in my
screenshotted.
mind, big. My bio is like one sentence.
No girls over
Hey.
7.
What? Mine's
That's
just like,
on someone's bio.
That's all it says. No girls over 7.
my bio is 420 only.
See, that's
Hey, at least
I
it's
would
not-
I would write someone with that. I would. I'm trying to find if I've made a.
Some cringe.
Okay, then you both on your phone.
Oh, I got a good one. This one, oh my god, this is so funny to me. My Italian ass about to be off this app. Y'all have like 2 days. I make money and got bitches twerking on me in the club. I don't need this shit.
Damn.
Like, then why are you on
He's
here?
the main character of his own movie, dude.
Why are you even on here, bro?
Oh my god.
Why
I
are you
remember
on
seeing
here?
that and
Why
being
are
like,
you
why
on
the
here?
fuck am I on this app, dude? Oh my god.
I'm
He
trying
said,
to-
I got
Oh.
bitches twerking on me in the
Wouldn't it
club.
be in my
Then you showed me
screenshots?
a dating website about threesomes.
Oh,
Ew.
fantabulous. There was one about cheating on your wife or husband,
Okay.
and it got really
Oh.
dangerous.
What's
Ashley
up?
Madison.
You ever come up to Tampa Bay?
Nope.
And I said, not much about your bed. I have. Yeah. And he's like, you are so far away. Oh, we can't even hang out.
Oh, like he's rapping.
We can't even hang
The
out.
puffer fish.
And I said, okay, LOL, then why you match with me? He said, well, would you come to Tampa?
Nope.
And I'm like, well, would you come to Fort Myers? And he's like, I don't drive till December. I got a DUI.
And
And I was like, block.
I gotta be real. I talked to a dude with a DUI before. I'm not proud of it.
Yikes.
He was a douche. He was a douche.
Yikes. That's a red flag.
I know how to pick him.
DUI is red flag.
Other than red flag and green flag,
That's a red flag.
blue flag and yellow flag.
Are there other flags that
Yeah,
I don't know?
there's
What's
a
your
lot of
what's your
flags.
type? What do you guys look
Art
for in a man?
types?
Oh, jeez, that's hard.
Oh,
When you guys go outside in the wild,
I
and
don't
you
do
see a
that
bunch of
lot.
men just running in a herd.
Running from a bigger
What do you guys
predator.
choose, huh? You guys are aliens like lions,
Oh
just,
my
know.
God.
Someone
Hunting
wrote me,
for
let's
men.
ruin each other's lives. And I said, let's not.
Oh my god, I had someone write me. They're like, I already told my mom about you, and I was
Ew.
like, did you also tell them we're complete strangers?
Ew.
Ew! Don't tell your fucking
I can't
mom
say
about
this
me.
one, but isn't that disgusting? I can't say it. It's
Perry the Platypus.
We are back at it for a
Back,
third
act.
time. Batteries are a necessity.
Necessity.
So make sure
They're the
you
bare
have some
necessities.
extra batteries. That's just a little tip from our friends over here at the Good Vibes Only podcast. Okay.
Wow.
Coming back
Oh, wait.
in
I lost my
hot.
muffler.
You need
The
that.
condom to my mic.
He lost his mic condom.
So right before we braked, we had our
I think that's broke, isn't
audience mic man. He asked us a question. Would you like to ask that question again, sir?
it?
Oh, what's your type? Just as simple as it can be.
Well,
What are you looking for in a man?
as far as my type,
You want somebody to tickle your toes?
ew,
Somebody
I
carry
hate
you?
that.
What in the?
I absolutely hate
Someone to
No.
like take you like
Um,
Titanic?
I don't want anyone
Titanic.
touching my toes or killing me in a boat. I don't want
Killing me in a
either
boat.
of that.
that. Yeah, that doesn't sound.
That's
ideal.
not my type.
That does not sound ideal.
Not my type.
personally, I've dated a lot of people. I've dated a lot of different types
Love
of
it.
people. I've dated, jocks. I've dated nerds. I've dated gamers,
That's the
anime
same thing.
nerds. I've
That's the same thing.
dated people that were passionate about the same stuff as me, people that weren't. And I've dated men, women, all different types of races. It really doesn't matter to me. I just like people.
So, for what is your type? She
yeah,
said
so you
no.
don't got nothing.
It's
for
more
me.
so about
She
like
said no.
personality traits. Like if someone's a dancer, that is,
So yeah, if you see
Well,
someone
that's
down,
not a
you're like,
trait, that's
okay,
a
I'm
talent.
interested.
it's hot.
That's a talent.
It's hot.
Yeah.
I want to talk to that person.
If someone can do music, like if they can sing or rap, like that is
For
attractive.
me, it's the passion behind
That's yeah.
it doesn't
but
have to be
just-
something I love too, as long
it's-
as it's like passionate about it.
I don't know. There's just something like very
Intimate when it's the same passion.
attractive about someone that can like play an instrument or
Piano.
can go up and do like a spoken word or
I just always think of Jonah Hill.
the sexy.
Cynthia. Yeah, right. That's my type.
Yeah, he died for our Cynthias.
She is dead.
dead. But no, it's definitely like it's not based on looks. Like I've literally like if you
Well,
look
are
at
you
the
asking
people,
specifically looks?
if you look at the people
Well,
I've
I mean,
matched with,
anything.
it's
Like for me, like
Okay.
it's all
my
different
type of
types.
woman? it could be a lot
Could be a
because
lot.
I don't have a body type. You could be skinny, super skinny, no body, chunky,
Thick.
thick,
Thicky.
thickety thick.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. God bless.
Yeah, hell yeah, you could be chicken, thicker than turkey. It's just,
Thicker
I don't know.
Thanksgiving.
Just nah.
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims.
I should want a woman that honestly wants to be healthy. Because the healthier you are, the more longer you live. And I'd rather live with someone long.
Yeah.
So if a woman wants to make, better me, hey, eat this way, okay, I'll do it. Let's do it. I want that. Like, you're looking for my benefit.
Someone who makes you better.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? I know your type.
If a woman brings me tamales, bro, I'm in love.
I don't know.
Food is
That's
the
hard.
way to a man's stomach.
I'm thinking of my type.
the man's stomach is the way to his heart.
way.
Look, you
To,
bring
to
me,
get
man's
to a
stomach.
man's heart, you have to go through his stomach. That's
you
the
That
bring,
saying.
look, you
is
bring me a
so funny.
tamale, I'm
It's
gonna kiss
done.
you right there.
That's
Okay,
the way to
guys.
your
That's like you
stomach.
bringing me a rose.
If any of you are interested in
I'ma eat
Jan,
that.
I'm gonna bite that,
I'm gonna eat it.
make him some food,
and I'm gonna kiss it.
and he's sold, smitten. If I
Wow.
do say so.
Wow. What a
And she bring me
What a
green sauce
turn.
too with like for the extra love.
sauce. Wow.
They're
That's
like chocolate.
love.
They're like
That's
rose
love.
and chocolate.
Sauce.
Yeah, that's love.
Roses with
Like, I'm in love at that point. I'm
Yeah.
in love. You won my
Do
heart.
That's
roses
fair.
taste good though?
They taste like poop.
Yeah, I know you like to thank you.
It tastes like
Yeah.
wet paper.
What? I'm gonna move on.
No, they
from
have
that.
more of a like floral aroma for sure, and a taste
Yeah, they
to
do have
them.
floral.
Yes.
Oh man,
But
this is
anyways,
bleak.
what's your type?
Come on, yeah.
That's hard for me, man.
Is
I
it?
honestly, I feel like it's hard to put it into like a this is my type because I'm single. So right now, nothing is my
I mean, you go be single, and still have a type.
I don't really know. Like I feel like emotional intelligence is really attractive to me now. Like
How so? Explain.
how someone can be emotionally intelligent. Instead of like getting angry and projecting on other people, they can actually like say like, "Hey, I'm feeling this type of way." So instead of
It's
like
just
projecting
open,
onto you, I'm
being
gonna go
open.
take a moment. Like just being aware of how you affect other people, how you affect the energy of a room, how you how people view you. Like it's how you hold yourself too. Like if for me, like I've never really cared about someone being able to protect me. Like that's never been something because I can protect myself. I'm not really worried about that. But knowing someone cares enough to want to is also really attractive in a partner. I really enjoy it. Like even if they're the tiniest thing in the world and like real, they couldn't fight like at all. If they tried, that's really sweet. Like just knowing that someone wants to protect you is sweet. Because I'm used to being the one in the relationship that's like the
But
protector.
like, yeah, as far as like actual physical traits, I'm not really like specific. Like
I always end up with sickly looking motherfuckers. I'll be
School
honest.
shooters.
Yeah.
wanted to say it so bad, but I wasn't gonna bring it up.
I like people who have a dead look in their eye. Yeah.
Yes, and a sick
I like
sense
dangerous
of
people that
humor.
treat me like shit. So
Been
yeah, I need
there.
to change that.
Been
So.
there.
Gotta change that.
I don't know.
Self-esteem.
Eyes and smile are probably like the
Yeah,
two things.
everyone does
physically.
that. So.
Well, I mean, you can tell a lot from someone's like,
if they smile with their whole face.
and just like eyes are the windows to the soul.
They're the
as,
nipples
like,
of the
cheesy
face.
As that sounds like. Sometimes people's eyes just be like, holy shit, like you have really nice eyes. So. But yeah, I'm not really picky. Like, I'm too short to have a preference as far as height.
Same. Like I.
Like,
Everyone's
there are
taller
so
than
many
me.
So if
women.
you find someone shorter than you would still date
I
them?
would
The
not
guy
give a
I was
shit.
with for 2
If you want
years.
someone
But it's
higher
like
than you.
it's
the guy I was with for 2
I don't
years
give a
was,
shit.
like, shorter
They can
than
be
me.
shorter than me, but I've never met a man that's shorter than me. Or
Right.
well, I mean,
Mason
women.
was shorter than me.
I've met women that were shorter than me, and that I
dated
didn't
him
care.
for 2 years, so it didn't matter to me.
I've dated someone that was a foot taller than me.
But I've
dated
also
someone-
dated someone
here's
who's
a most
6'5".
important question for men: does size matter?
Not really.
Oh no, I didn't even know what he meant for a moment there. Oh my god, I'm so innocent.
It's
for the
been so
first
long
time.
since I've like been with someone, so I genuinely.
I don't
was
give a
like,
shit.
Wait a second.
It's
Yeah, but
it's
I mean,
a it's
some
a shot in the
women-
dark. I'm
What
gonna
does
sleep
that
with him
mean?
anyway.
Some women really does care.
It matters more so like the connection you have, because if there's not really like an actual passion or connection
It's gonna
between you
suck.
and that person, the sex is gonna
gonna
be
suck.
horrible. But
That
if
what
you
call
like,
dead sex.
if you guys are like, you know, you guys are into each other, it's gonna be fun no matter
It
what
ain't-
size
it
you
ain't-
are.
Yeah, it
Like,
ain't about the size.
It doesn't matter.
It
if
ain't
you're
about the size of
a
the
twig
wave.
and they're a
It's
fucking.
about the spasm and
yeah.
orgasm.
It's
God
true
bless.
though. Like, if you're into it, you're gonna make it work.
Mhm.
It
God
does.
bless.
Okay.
I mean, that's why there's toys.
Okay.
If we're being honest.
Okay.
If someone's too
That's a
small, like you have a toy, and then you know, there's toys for men
Thank you
and
for
women.
that. Yeah.
So, I
yeah, I'm
mean-
sure our viewers did not know that.
Sex is just a place that, like, when you find the right person, it's a fun place to be and like explore like each other's.
It's also
like,
really vulnerable though, and like
and that's why it's
it's
hard.
so normalized now to like be doing that like the moment you meet someone,
Mhm.
and that's a lot of pressure
Yep.
for someone who like
It's like weird because like I have been a pretty sexual person my almost my whole life.
I would
Yes,
never guess.
when I was younger, I was a little bit of a whore, if I'm being honest.
we all had a
I-
phase, honey.
I lost my virginity at a young age. I, you know, like I said, kind of found my value through like how I was for my partner. So like I thought my worth as a person was sex for a long time, and it's really dark.
That's
and
kind of what I
sad.
meant about. I think a lot of women go through that
Yep.
phase. Like it's not a whore phase. It's a like,
Like,
this
you
is what
don't-
society thinks.
You
I'm good
don't
for.
know how to like speak your boundaries. You don't know how to say no without like upsetting the other person, and like, you know, especially people that have been through trauma and have had like bad situations, especially of a sexual nature, happen. You know, it changes your view. And I was just programmed for such a long time to jump from relationship to relationship to just have sex and not really care like what I'm getting out of it and just pleasing the other person.
Mhm.
And then eventually it got to a point where I
I
was
feel
like,
like that's also
why am I
another-
even doing it?
Not to
Like,
bring it up and make it another like gender issue, but I feel like that's a very
Mhm.
female problem as well. It's
You're
very
not-
centered towards like the pleasure for men. Like,
yeah, you're not really taught that you're allowed to get off too, and like it's kind of a subject that
I think
a lot
that's
of
why I'm not
people-
really too concerned with it.
A lot of
I'm
people
really
are
not
really
too concerned
uncomfortable
with
talking
not
about
sleeping
sex,
with anyone.
but it's something that you do when you're in a relationship, so you should be comfortable talking about it.
If you're not comfortable talking about it, you shouldn't be having it.
But I mean that should be our next episode is sex.
If you can't talk about
That
it,
would
you
be
shouldn't
an
be having it.
interesting topic.
Mhm.
But as far as red flags, green flags, just be a good person. Don't project your own
Be
shit onto
honest
other people.
about your intentions. Do not lie to people when you know that their intentions differ from you, because you're only gonna hurt both of
Yep.
both of you.
Be-
Like, it's so
be-
selfish.
Genuine and honest, upfront about how you feel. Like there's
Everyone's
no,
time is valuable.
There's no need to fake how you feel. Like just be upfront, be honest about it, and also you know set those boundaries. Be healthy. You know, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because if you're not happy, then the person you're with isn't going to be happy.
Amen.
So yeah, just make sure that you
Ding,
are
ding,
taking
ding,
care of
ding.
yourself first and foremost, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and self-esteem is very important in your relationship.
Love yourself.
Yeah.
Preach.
Love yourself before you can love anybody else. Amen.
So write in the comments what your green flags and red flags are,
And purple
and
flag.
give me the
and
tea.
orange flag.
let
Give me
us
all the
know what you would like.
What do you hate? What do you love? Give me
Our
the
other
tea.
episodes to be. Write in if you have any questions. If you have any advice.
If you have any sex
that you want.
questions.
Yeah, anything.
If
Men,
you like anal,
women,
if you like oral, we want to know.
Wow, that's
just
the one to
write
start
into
off on.
us, fireandeyece@gmail.com. Ask some questions. Ask for advice. We might talk about it on the next episode. But
Fire and Eyece and their partner swamp.
and thank you guys so much for tuning in to this third episode. It's been Fire and Ice.
It's been fire and nice.
We have
Beautiful, beautiful.
our duo over behind the cameras, Sir Daniels.
Sir Daniels.
Daniels.
We thank you for your time and your
You adopted my J name.
Make sure
Daniel.
that you guys check out their
Daniel.
podcast, Weird Friends. It's
Check that
pretty
shit out.
entertaining. Daniel also has another podcast, his passion project. Check that one out as well. This has been fun, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.